We are building the Wordle project from the WiByte Python curriculum available at www.wibyte.in. Previously, we saw the rules of the game, we got started. Now to move forward, we need a very large list of words, 5-letter words from which our computer can pick up these words that can be used in the game. Now clearly you can get this list from anywhere, but just to facilitate your development, we have made it available on our website. So I'll just show you where to get it from and the steps that we must follow so that it is usable in our code. Now, first thing first, please look at our website, wibyte.in. In here, please navigate yourself to Python level 2 course material. And having done this, scroll down to the Wordle project, which is what we are doing right now. So Wordle project, you'll notice that there are notes and so on, but there's this link called 5-letter words. Now, what we would want you to do is to just say right click over here and say open this new tab. Having done this, we would want you to download this to your computer. So I'm going to click on say this button over here and I say download. Now what this means is that from the drive, it has been downloaded onto my computer here. It's available in the downloads folder. However, like I said, we need to now make this file a part of our Replit project. Remember, this is running on the Replit server. I must hence upload the file to reach, let's say, the Replit server. And I do that by clicking, let's say, notice next to files, there is this 3 buttons here. I just go and say upload a file. And I go and pick up the file that I just downloaded, which is say 5-letter words new. I choose this file and I click open. Now, what this means is that this file is now a part of the project, but obviously I must somehow extract the data from this to, become a usable structure within my program. Now, before doing so, let me just rename this file. So I just go and say, say rename this. I just call it, let's say, words. Now, again, it doesn't matter. You can really pretty much name it anything. Now, since this file is available to me, I need to write a little bit of code to sort of open that file, read in all the data, and then close it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say, look, let me just use a little bit of file IO here. So I say F is equal to open. Now open, the moment I say do this, notice a bunch of commands come up to help me. Basically, it's for opening a file. This file exists on the server. So I just tell this guy to say, okay, look, please open for me words.txt. And that's really all I need. I am going to read in the contents of that file as one string, and I do that with this command called f.read. Now you can open files for reading, writing, appending, and so on, depending on the needs. In this case, clearly we are just reading out, because as we saw here, the file already contains a list of words that we would like to have. So all we are doing really is that we are reading these words using this command, but this f.read reads it like a one huge string. Before I do anything, however, I must close this file. Now this is very important. Whenever you open a file, make sure you are closing it, because otherwise you can have serious problems, serious bugs in your code. However, having closed the file, I'm going to write one more step over here, which is that I'm going to convert this list of the huge string into a list, calling word list, and I do that by using string methods called split. So I say word list words dot split, and in this case I just tell it to split by say say \n. Now we will see this working, so it becomes more clear. But when I run this code, and we'll see that everything is working fine, the code runs. We can in fact run this in the interactive mode using the shell. I'm going to close this window so that I can examine other things. Now when I do this, the program is running. Notice if I look at, let's say, F. Now F itself, like I said, is a file. We have opened the file, and that's what it kind of indicates, that this is the name of the file. It's being read out. The encoding is okay. Of course, I've closed the file. If I look at words is this huge string, but you notice every now and then you see a \n. That's because basically this entire file has been read as one string, and at the end of each word there's a new line, which, as you remember from escape characters, is basically a \n. So if I look at, let's say, length of say words, it's very large, and also the type of words is actually a string, Now what I have done in line number 8 over here is that I've split this by looking at the \n. So wherever I saw a \n, I created a new element on the list, and hence if I look at type of say word list, it is a list, and in fact the length of word list is, let's say, 5752. Now that's a lot of words. Of course, you can add words to this. You can, modify this in some ways. If you think you have another list, you can use that. But this is just fine for as far as we are concerned. Now, before I move on, I just want to highlight an alternative implementation over here, which is a little bit more concise. So, I could do this, of course, whatever I've done. I could also write this whole code as, let's say, using the with statement. So I say with, let's say, open, say words.text as file. So I'm telling the interpreters that, okay, open this as a file with the with statement. I just say words equals to f dot read. In fact, this will work exactly the same, and we can see this. I'll just comment out these codes for now. So my bad here. It has to be file dot read, because remember, I'm opening I'm opening this words.text as file. And once I do this, this has to be words as well. So now when I run my code, notice I've used the with command over here, and in fact the results are going to be exactly the same. So if I look at word list, for example, it's a large list. Length of, say, word list is also exactly the same as earlier. So really, these 3 lines of code are really doing the same job as this with statement. Now the difference here, and you will notice this probably, is that with the with statement, I do not use to explicitly close the file, and that is perfectly fine. However, if you're not using the with statement, make sure you're using f.close. Now, I'm just going to stick with the earlier method. So just going to comment this out. And, like I said, both are anyway equivalent. So I'll just go with this. Now, having done this, we have a large list of words available to us, and we need to now pick up a random word. So I'm going to say import, say random, and I'm going to, just say, let's say, at this point, I'm going to say chosen word is equal to random dot choice and word list. Now this is something we have done before. In fact, just to sort of make it a little bit easier for us, for now I'm going to put print, say chosen word. Now if I run this code, I'm just going to quit this. So if I run this code now and I look at the console, word is adorned because I'm printing that. Remember, I run it again, the word is, say, something called forma, whatever it means. I have a word called chunk, and so on. So every time the file is picking, the project is picking up a randomly chosen word, and that's exactly what we want. Now, before I wrap this up, let's do just a little bit of compare and contrast. You might recall that previously we have built the Hangman project in Scratch. I'm linking the video over here. In that, again, we had done the same thing. We had imported the list of words. It was a little bit easier because all we had to do really was to say import, and Scratch took care of this fact of populating the list and so on. We have done pretty much the same thing, just that we have had more steps. So we uploaded the file, we opened the file, closed it. Of course, we could use the with statement as we just saw. We created the list out of this, and finally, we chose a random word from this. Now that happens to be a bit more concise in Python because I just say random.choice here. But really the intent is exactly the same. And I hope you found this interesting. In general, if you think this way of learning by building activities, by applying concepts is something that you enjoy, look at our website because we have many such avenues for you to learn. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.